Hey there, I'm Goodvibesguy and welcome to my video about how to use the Ninja Awakening in Black Desert Online. The Ninja Awakening weapon Sura Katana opens up a wide variety of defensive and offensive capabilities for us that we didn't have previously with the short sword alone. The first thing you need to know about the Sura Katana is that pressing C and switching from short sword to awakening is very slow and should never be used if possible. Instead, you want to get used to pressing C with the direction key to trigger a quick swap. Additionally, you can use C to swap weapons immediately after most of your short sword or Sura Katana skills. Think of C as a separate skill that you insert into your rotations to seamlessly swap between your short sword and Sura Katana. Another key aspect of the Ninja Awakening is understanding how to use Transition Stance. It is the most unique part of Ninja Awakening and can be very powerful if used properly. Transition Stance is activated and deactivated by using right click, and it's automatically activated after using the skill Drastic Measures. While activating and deactivating Transition Stance, you are protected by a frontal guard, but only during the sheathing and unsheathing animations. Additionally, the skill Silent Charge can only be used while in Transition Stance. Transition Stance alters some skills' damage while other skills remain unaffected or just have different animations. For example, the damage of Sudden Decapitation and Serpent Ascension is increased in Transition Stance, while Corrupt Sword Dance's damage is reduced. I strongly recommend getting in the habit of transferring into Transition Stance before casting Serpent Ascension because it does 2200% more damage at rank 3. Now let's go over the various defensive tools we have while using the Sura Katana. We have 3 different types of defenses: Super Armor, Invincibility Frames or iframes, and the newest one for us, Block. Super Armor grants you immunity to all types of CC except grapples, iframes make you invulnerable from all damage and CC, and Block uses a block meter to absorb damage and CC from the front, but you can still be grappled through a block. For Super Armors, we have Murderous Intent, Bloodthirst Katana Shower, Drastic Measures, Flash Bondage, and Ghost Step. For iframes, we have Silent Charge, Ninja Step, Block Jump, Flash Bondage, and Ghost Step. Flash Bondage and Ghost Step use both Super Armors and iframes. And for blocks, we have the default Q block, Vengeful Barrier, Vacuum Slash, Seamless, and Sura Chaos Spree. Now let's go over the CC capabilities of the Sura Katana. We'll separate the various types of CC into standing and ground CC. Standing CCs leave the opponent disabled, but they can immediately use skills once the CC breaks. Ground CCs leave the opponent disabled and lying on the ground where they must recover using a directional key, and are subject to extra damage from down attacks. For standing CCs, we have Vengeful Barrier, which stiffens, Murderous Intent, which stiffens, Block Jump, which can stiffen, Asura, which stuns, and Sura Chaos Spree, which stuns. For ground CCs, we have Flash Bondage, which is a grapple, Sudden Decapitation, which bounds or launches, Bloodthirst Katana Shower, which floats, Serpent Ascension, which floats, Drastic Measure, which bounds, Seamless, which bounds, and Vacuum Slash, which floats and bounds. As you can see, a lot of our skills have both defensive and CC capabilities in them. Most of mastering Ninja, or any class, is learning your opponent's skills as well as your own, and reacting to them appropriately. If you want to CC your opponent without exposing yourself, for example, use Vengeful Barrier into Vacuum Slash for 2 frontal guard attacks that also stiffen and bound the opponent. If your opponent's grapple is on cooldown, try using a double Super Armored attack with Murderous Intent into Bloodthirst Katana Shower. Now that you know how the skills work, with practice you can make quick decisions about what skills are best to use in any given situation. I encourage you to experiment and create your own combinations that work for you. With that said, there are a few animation cancels and techniques that I, with help from other ninjas, have found that will be helpful to use within your own combinations. First, you can cast Drastic Measure with no charge-up time if you cast it immediately after Murderous Intent. After charging Drastic Measure before releasing it, you can cast Silent Charge forwards or backwards one time. Seamless can be used after any skill by holding down spacebar. You can continue the attack by using Sudden Decapitation with right click and or Corrupt Sword Dance with left click. This combo can be used infinitely as all three skills can be used while on cooldown. The only skills that will take you into short sword form from Awakening other than pressing C are Bladespin Blade and Target Chase. Unfortunately, there are no Awakening skills that you can use while wielding the short sword. One of my favorite combinations for a very fast mob clear or a good CC burst initiation is Murderous Intent into Drastic Measure into Serpent Ascension. The last technique I learned is to right-click into Transition Stance. Then as your character pulls out his sword, you flip your camera around to his front, use Silent Charge backwards, and immediately follow up with Murderous Intent. This is a great way to counter an oncoming opponent as it gives you a frontal block directly into an iframe that moves you behind them, and then you land a stiffness on their back. Overall, Ninja is a very powerful and rewarding class to play. Using his short sword in conjunction with his Sura Katana is difficult, but also vital to outplay your opponent. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in some way. I have a long way to go to master this class myself, but I wanted to share some things that I wish I'd known from the beginning. Please leave any feedback or comments down below, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and if you guys like this video enough, I will come out with a part 2 video that covers more advanced PvP tactics. Thank you so much for watching, and stay gruntled.